Ibn Khaldun, An Intellectual Biography by Robert Irwin. Read by John Telfer. We later civilizations, we too know that we are mortal. Paul Valéry, The Crisis of the Mind, 1919. Preface. The world historian Arnold Toynbee, who produced a 12-volume study of the rise and fall of civilizations, described Ibn Khaldun's theoretical treatise on history, the Muqaddima, as undoubtedly the greatest work of its kind that has ever been created by any mind in any time or place. Although the historian Hugh Trevor Roper was a fierce critic of Toynbee's theories about the cyclical rise and fall of civilizations, he agreed with him about the merits of Ibn Khaldun. It is a wonderful experience to read those great volumes, as rich and various, as subtle, deep and formless as the ocean, and to fish up from them ideas old and new. The historian of the culture of Muslim societies, Marshall Hodgson, described the Muqaddima as no doubt the best general introduction to Islamic civilization ever written. The philosopher, sociologist and anthropologist Ernest Gellner declared that Ibn Khaldun was a superb inductive sociologist, a practitioner long before the term was invented of the method of ideal types. As we shall see, Ibn Khaldun's ideas were cited with approval in Bruce Chatwin's novel Songlines, and they underpinned Frank Herbert's Dune cycle of science fiction novels, as well as Naguib Mahfouz's fine novel The Harafish. Ibn Khaldun himself had no doubts about the value and originality of what he had written. It should be known that the discussion of this topic is something new, extraordinary, and highly useful. Penetrating research has shown the way to it. In a way, it is an entirely original science. In fact, I have not come across a discussion along these lines by anyone. We were inspired by God. He led us to a science whose truth we ruthlessly set forth. Wali al-Din Abd al-Rahman ibn Khaldun, 1332 to 1406, was born in Tunis, and in the first half of his life he held various advisory and bureaucratic roles in the service of the Marinid rulers in Fez, the Hafsids in Tunis, the Abd al-Wadids in Tlemcen, and the Nasrids in Granada. In 1375 he retired to a remote castle in western Algeria, where, in the course of the next 4 years, he worked on the first draft of the Muqaddima, his book on the principles of history and rise and fall of dynasties. In 1378 he re-entered civilization and undertook some teaching in Tunis while consulting its libraries. He also worked on a lengthy chronicle that followed on from his book on the principles of history. In 1382 he left for Mamluk Egypt. There he held the office of Chief Qadi, judge of the Maliki rite, several times, and he continued to work expanding and revising what he had already written. In 1400 he had a memorable meeting outside the walls of Damascus with the would-be world conqueror Timur, also known as Tamerlane. Ibn Khaldun died in Cairo and was buried in a Sufi cemetery.